on world? It's your girl B, back again with another video with 10100 Media. Today we are going to talk about why I made the switch from Mac to Windows. And before all my Apple ride or die folks get on me, hear me out. Don't torch me in the comments. Just hear me out. All right, so first things first, I've been an avid Apple user forever. The phone, the iPods, all that kind of stuff. I've been an Apple ride or die forever. But once I became more serious about my video and things that I wanted to do, I started to notice how Apple did not, in my personal opinion and based on my needs as a video editor, did not give me the sufficiency that I needed. So being a Premiere Pro user, I could have easily made the choice to go to Final Cut Pro, but it's just not what I wanted. I really do enjoy Premiere Pro. I enjoy what it offers and what it does, and I enjoy the fluidity of how all the Adobe products kind of just work together. So when I'm in After Effects and stuff like that, it just kind of all just flows together, and I didn't want to use 12 different programs to get where I wanted to be. So I finally just decided to make the jump and just say, you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna build my own PC. So that really is what compelled me to make the jump. The other portion of that is more so because of what I can do with flexibility in my computer. With the Apple, you're pretty much stuck with what you have. If you have 32 gigabytes, that's it, you can't go up. And as these updates keep happening with the editing software that I have, the Mac that I literally just bought is just not efficient enough for what I needed to do, in my personal opinion. But then again, I was working off of a laptop, so maybe a desktop would have did me better, but I didn't want to spend the money to try to find out. So I was like, you know what, we're just totally making the switch. So the flexibility in the computer has been great. Being able to just put the kind of graphics card that I want in there, the motherboard that I want in there, everything that I want in there is just whatever. I can put whatever, I'm just unlimited. The other portion of that is just being able to be more cost effective with what I'm buying. So if something was to go wrong with my Mac, it's likely that I'm gonna have to replace the entire thing. Likely. I mean, I can probably go get it fixed, but it's likely that I'm gonna have to replace the whole thing. As opposed to building my own editing PC, I'm able to just replace whatever needs to be replaced. So if I want to put a new motherboard in, I can put a new motherboard in. If I want to put a new video card in, I can put a new video card in. If I want more memory, I can add more memory. It's just, I can just do that as opposed to buying an entire Mac every 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Now, this may not be other people's experience with it, but for me, I just wanted to make sure that I can just edit efficiently. So the jump for me had to do with the flexibility of being able to put whatever equipment that I wanted into my PC and being able to do that at a good price. There's always Black Friday sales or just flash sales that are going on with computer components, like on Newegg and CompUSA and all that kind of stuff. So it's always nice for me to be able to find what I need, put it in my computer, and keep it moving. So that's what really compelled me to make the switch. So what's been my experience thus far with Windows? Literally a dream. I did not know life can be like this. I really did not know it can be like this. 4K full replay, no problem. I haven't had Premiere quit on me. I haven't had any of those issues, and I've had this going on 2 months, 2 to 3 months now. I'll double check, but it's about 2 to 3 months that I've had this. And it has been so nice, so nice. Just being able to edit efficiently. I've been able to push out videos faster now to my clientele. And for me, this was a big thing for me, just because I know that with my Mac, I would literally have to set out days just to export videos. It was some portions where I would have to export a video just to see a playback. And I was like, dude, I can't do this. And it was just so many things. And everybody's like, well, just do a proxy. Just proxy. I don't want to do all that. I just want to edit and get it all done right there. I don't want to have to create proxies. I just didn't want to have to do that, in my personal opinion. Those are ways and tactics that you can use, but I just didn't want to do that. I'm all about just being able to be efficient, and whatever I can take out of my workflow is what I want to do. That's just me and my personal opinion, but it's been an absolute dream. The only setback that I've had really is just trying to figure out troubleshooting. Sometimes I get nervous if I hear something or I think something's not booting correctly. There's been a couple of times where I had to go in and Google some stuff to try to figure it out, but nonetheless, I do try to figure it out. And not to mention, I have a computer geek friend. He's a really good friend, but he knows computers way better than I do. So I definitely call him up. I try not to bother him too much, but I do call him up and I ask him a couple of things like, hey, how you fix this? And usually it's just a quick fix and it's just done. So I found just the troubleshooting portion is a little foreign to me, because with the Mac, I know how to troubleshoot, I know how to fix this and it's fine, but this is just new and I'm still learning. So that's really the only setback. But other than that, the editing, everything was a dream. It's so important to me that I'm able to have a steady, nice workflow, simply because it's the engine of your business. Like, you can go out and film all the videos that you want, but if you can't edit them, if you can't edit your videos efficiently and have an efficient workflow, it's just not gonna work for you, in my personal opinion. That's been my experience. Literally setting out days, and with deadlines and stuff like that, I'm like, I don't have time to set out days just to export. Like, literally, I would sit down and export and watch TV until it was done, because I couldn't use my computer for anything else because it would just be running too slow. So I can't say enough that the experience has been a dream. Okay, so what did I put in my computer? And I'm just gonna read it from my phone because it's a lot, but for the most part, all this is going to be linked in the description below if you're interested in building your own PC, or the one that I did. So I had 64 gigs of RAM in it. I have a GeForce 2060 video card. I have a 1 terabyte SSD hard drive in there, along with another 4 terabyte just regular hard drive. So I can actually add up to 12 terabytes or more in that computer, and I actually plan on doing that, but we're gonna wait till we get a little bit more money before we do that. And then I'll also put the i9 Intel Core processor in there as well. So I know you're probably wondering, like, how much did all of this cost? And I won't lie to you, it is a pretty penny. It is a pretty penny. But I was someone who had the money to do so I did it. There are other builds out there that are cheaper, and that's completely fine. Whatever fits your budget, whatever fits your needs for your workflow is what I would recommend doing. But for me, I knew I was going to spend a minimum of $2,000 on my computer, mainly because I wanted to build something that I knew I wouldn't have any problems with for the most part, and I knew it would be efficient for my workflow. Now, does that mean that spending more money means you're gonna have a better workflow? That can be debated. However, it's all about your needs and what fits with what you need to do. I just knew that since this is pretty much the base of my company, the engine that keeps my company running, I knew that I wanted to set aside enough money to get something that would be efficient for me and my workflow and what I want to do. So I spent a total of, I want to say $2,800. $2,800 before my monitor. I actually got a ViewSonic monitor that will be linked below as well. I got this monitor simply because it was great for color grading and seeing the most accurate colors. So I knew I wanted to spend a pretty penny on that, and that came out to about 619 bucks. It was on sale from $7.99 or $6.99. One of those two. So that was cost efficient for me. I do know that in the future I can change up anything, switch out some things, replace this with this, just because, you know, I needed to run a little bit more efficiently or whatnot. But I knew that this would be future proof for me, and that is what I was looking for, as opposed to what I didn't get out of my Apple computer. So one of the other questions that I get from like my friends who are videographers and stuff, they're like, was it hard to build? And I will say that it's intimidating. It is very intimidating. I won't lie to you, simply because building a PC, spending this type of money and building it and for it to not work is a whole problem for me, is a whole anxiety for me. So for me, was it hard to build? No, not once I got into it. So the easy part is plugging and putting everything where it needs to go on the motherboard. The hard part is the freaking cable management and how you're going to, you know, wire everything. Just the wiring is just very tedious. I would say putting everything in the computer minus the wiring probably took 2 hours. The rest of the 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours that it took me to build was like cable management, definitely cable management. I plan on actually building a PC for one of my friends. He's actually looking to go ahead and do that. He's like, I'll just pay you to put it together. And I was like, but we'll see. I think that's something that I do enjoy, and I do possibly want to start helping other editors or other creatives, filmmakers, stuff like that are interested in building a PC. I wouldn't mind building it for them just to kind of, you know, help out a few people. But for me, it was a great learning experience. I know that I really wanted to make sure that I built this from the ground up, simply so I can know and learn and understand, because eventually I'm going to have to go back in there and replace things with certain things, but I wanted to make sure that I knew how to do that. So yeah, if you guys are into tedious things, which editing is pretty tedious. Editing is a pretty tedious thing, but this wasn't a hard build, but it was, for my first build, it was pretty intimidating. I won't lie. I won't lie about it. It was like hella intimidating. So lastly, I want to talk about who do I think should make the switch, or should you make the switch? And my answer to you is, it depends on what it is that you want to do. I can't tell you exactly what to do. I can just tell you my experience and how much I've enjoyed it. And being just being a Mac user coming to Windows, it's really not all that scary. And I just knew, like I said, for me, that I needed an efficient workflow, and I hated setting out Fridays and Saturdays or weekends to just export my videos. That was cruel. That was so cruel for me. So would I recommend that you do it? Absolutely. I think it's something that you should try, but then again, I said, you know, you have to make that decision for yourself. So it just depends on what it is and what you want to do, and you know, how you want to do it. You can always pay somebody to put together a PC for you. That's no judgment here. I would recommend trying to build it yourself and being able to learn what's in your computer, just in case you have to do any troubleshooting and things like that. So overall, I would say I love my computer. I love the workflow of it. I have no complaints thus far. I will be doing an update maybe like, 6 months or a year later. But for me, it's been a dream. And if it's something that you're interested in, I would definitely look into it, do your research, figure out what works for you, and figure out if you can go ahead and make that switch. But it's been great for me. I can't complain. I have no complaints about it. Okay, well, with that being said, it's your girl B, 10100 Media. Did another video today. Hopefully this was somewhat helpful for you, at least being able to get the opinion from somebody who made the switch from Mac to Windows. So if you like what you saw here, definitely like, comment, subscribe. Those things really, really help my channel, and I appreciate all the support thus far. I will be talking to you guys in the next one. Peace.
Sunshine here on a cold night. You've been on my mind. Glad I got you by my side. Sunshine got me up all night. Summer on my mind. Glad I got you by my side.